Number one, you think being nice is enough. You see all the time in the Hollywood movies, the girl is ignoring the nerdy guy and she's dating the popular jock guy, and then all of a sudden they get in an argument and then she talks to the nice guy and then they get together and they get in a relationship and live happily ever after. But that's just not how it works in real life. You've been operating throughout your dating life that way, thinking if I'm just a nice guy, if I'm just good, I'm kind to her, then she's going to want me. But how has that worked out for you so far? Well, not very well. And that's okay, but we just have to focus on improving in that area. Now, why do I say that women don't want a nice guy? Well, do I think you should be an asshole? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I think so many guys are so focused on being nice, they make it their main goal because they hear that's what women want. Yeah, women just want a guy who's nice, because they'll say that in like an interview, or you'll talk to another girl and she'll say, yeah, I just want a guy who's a good person. But what they forget to tell you is, yes, they do want a guy who's a good person, who's a gentleman, but they also want a guy who has a backbone. They also want a guy who's masculine. And where so many of these nice guys go wrong is they don't have a backbone. Because they're so worried about being nice to the girl, they won't tell her when she does something that's disrespectful. They won't be willing to walk away when they get mistreated, right? They're so worried about rocking the boat and not making the girl feel bad that they just are so overly nice to her, and they get rejected because of that. Because at the end of the day, yeah, being a good person is an important trait, but being masculine, being a leader is so much more important. Now, am I saying that you should be an asshole? No. That's not what I'm saying, but it's all about finding a balance. I think someone who sets a great example for how you should be as a young man when in doubt is James Bond, right? Look at James Bond, for example. Is James Bond a nice guy? No, but he's still a good person. He's still a gentleman. He'll tell a woman when he thinks she looks beautiful. He'll buy her flowers, right? He would do those things. But he's not doing it just to be nice, just to win her over. He's doing it because that's how he is. But also, James Bond is very masculine. He's developed those traits as well. So that's how I think you should be as a man. Yes, you should be a good person, but don't think it's going to get you everything you want, because the reality is, more often than not, the nice guy just ends up getting rejected while the girl goes out with the guy who's masculine and who has a backbone. Number two, you haven't built yourself up yet. I remember this one time when I was sitting in the garage with my grandfather when I was younger, and he told me this one story that absolutely changed my perspective on dating for the better. So one day I asked him, like, what's the key to getting a girl to like you back? How do you get a woman to want to be with you? And he told me, it's like catching a butterfly. If you wanted to catch a butterfly, how would you do it? Well, you wouldn't run around like an idiot with a net, running around and throwing a net at them. You wouldn't run around and trying to catch them. You wouldn't do that. So how would you get that butterfly? Well, you would just build a garden with a bunch of nice fruit, a bunch of vegetables, a bunch of pretty flowers, and then you'd sit down and a butterfly would just land on your shoulder. It's a lot easier, it's more effective, and that's going to get you the result that you want. It's kind of like how in dating, you could go approach women, message girls, spend hours swiping on Tinder, putting so much effort into it just to get no results, because you yourself as a man are not very attractive. You haven't been in the gym. You look like you haven't touched a weight in 5 years or ever. You don't eat a healthy diet. You don't really live a life of purpose. So why would any girl want to be with you? But if you just built yourself into that person, you wouldn't be struggling with dating, because women would see that value in you and want to come be with you. And when I went through a breakup about 2.5 years ago, the girl I was dating broke up with me. This was a question I had to ask myself. So if you're struggling right now, I don't say this to make you feel bad, but more just to challenge you, right? When I went through that breakup, the reason my girl left me was because I stopped going to the gym, I stopped focusing on myself, got complacent and comfortable in the relationship, right? Got completely out of shape. And she was like, yeah, you're not really the person that you are anymore. And there were other things that went into it as well. I made some other mistakes and other stuff happened, but that was a very important aspect to it. So when that happened, I had to look myself in the mirror and I had to say like, damn, like I remember literally when I took this picture, I said, fuck, like I completely lost all of my gym progress because this was what I looked like before the relationship. I wasn't like in insane shape by any means, but I looked pretty good. So I had to take that moment to say like, fuck, why would a girl want me? Like, I'm not that good looking anymore. I don't really do anything productive. I just sit in my room and play games and scroll on social media. So why would a woman want me? So I went on this intense self-improvement journey for the next 6 months or so, hitting the gym twice a day, almost every single day for the first 3 months of that. Got very disciplined on my diet, hardly cheated, didn't drink at all, right? For those 6 months, I was in that like post-breakup, like grind era, right? You're like, yeah, fuck that. I'm going to improve myself, make her regret me. But I made a lot of progress in that time and I leveled up and eventually after that had so much more abundance and opportunities with women. And it was all because I improved myself. The way I want you to kind of think about this is your real life character, who you are in real life, is like a video game character. It's like how when you play a video game, you can level up your stats on a character, right? You play NBA 2K, you level up your shooting, your ball handling, right? Everything, well, pause. Everything that you do, and that leads you to build a better character in the video game. Well, real life is the same exact way. You need to view your real life character as someone who you can level up and you can improve, right? So what aspects could you improve? Well, maybe you got to get in better shape. You got to become more confident, right? Think, what attributes of my personal character can I level up to become a better partner? Because the reality of dating is you attract the type of person that you are. So you have to focus on improving yourself and bettering yourself if you want to attract the quality of woman that you want. Reason number 3, you are needy for the relationship. I remember this one time I was going out with this one girl. It was back during I could be getting this wrong, but I think it was my sophomore year of college. And we had gone on like 2 dates at the time. And I all of a sudden started saying to myself, wow, yeah, this girl is so much better than the rest. I want to make her my girlfriend one day. Oh, she's so amazing. And guess what ended up happening? Do you think I got this girl? No. And you've probably made the same mistake before. But why does this happen? Well, there's a couple reasons why. When you get needy for the relationship, you're essentially putting so much pressure on yourself. Because now all of a sudden you're saying, wow, yeah, this is the perfect girl who I'm going to get married one day and have a long relationship with and be with for the long run. So now you've created this fantasy in your head that you have to live up to. And bro, that just puts so much pressure on you. And of course, when you do that, you're going to be more nervous. You're going to stumble over your words more often. You're going to do weird shit that makes her unattractive to you because you're coming from this total place of scarcity. So what you should do instead is just live in the present moment. Don't have the mindset that, oh, I got to make this girl my girlfriend. Oh, things have to work out. Just have the mindset that, hey, I'm going to go take her out on a date and have a good time. We're going to have fun. And whatever happens is great, but that's not the focus. And also, when you start to think the girl is so amazing and better than everyone else, you start to put her up on a pedestal. Now, what do I mean by that? By putting a girl on a pedestal? Well, it's essentially treating her better than you would treat other women or that you treat yourself. Now, should you treat a girl well? Yes, of course you should. You should pay for a date. You should open the door for her. You should show up and pick her up at her house. You should do all these things. But you should not treat her as a superior. You should not treat her better than you would treat other people, than you treat yourself, right? A lot of guys think like, oh yeah, if I just buy her flowers and buy her chocolate and do all these things, then she's gonna like me back. But in reality, when you're trying so hard, all it makes it look like you're doing is you're just overcompensating. She'll be saying like, like, I wonder why this guy is treating me so much better than everyone else. Well, it's because it comes from a lack of security. It comes from a place of insecurity. So instead, what you should do is, so yes, treat her well. Do those things. Do the gentleman habits. But also, treat her as an equal. Don't view her as up here and you as right here. View her as right on a level playing field as you. Because the truth is, women don't want to date a man who views them as so much better than themselves. They want to be with a man who views them as an equal, because when you do that, it demonstrates that, like, she's not out of your league. But if you treat her like she's so much better than you, and then she gets the vibe that she's so much better than you, she's gonna think like, oh damn, like I actually might be out of this guy's league, so I should probably go find someone else. So don't treat her as a superior, but treat her as an equal. Reason number 4, you don't lead, you wait. Whenever you see a girl you wanna go talk to, you say to yourself, oh, like I would go approach her, but it's just not the perfect moment. Oh, it's just not the right time. Brother, there is never gonna be a perfect moment. You're always gonna have insecurities. You're gonna have so many excuses for why you can't do something. So you just have to pick your ass up, grow a pair of balls, and just go and talk to her. Just go do it. It's kind of like how when you're starting going to the gym, you don't feel like showing up to the gym every day, right? Like think back to the first 2 weeks you went and got your first workouts in. You felt so sore, but you still did it anyways. Because it's not about being perfect. It's not about always feeling like doing something. The harsh truth of life as a man is if you want to be your best self, sometimes you just have to do the things that you don't want to. Sometimes you just have to do the things that you have to do, right? So when you see that girl you want to go talk to, you don't wimp out of it because you're scared. You just go talk to her because that's what you know you want. And also, instead of looking to the girl to plan stuff, instead of looking to her to take the lead, oh, what do you want to go do? Oh, do you like me back? Do you want to be with me? No, you make the plans. You set the tone for the relationship. Now, a lot of people in the modern world will say that like a relationship should be 50-50. Both people should lead. But here's the deal with that, okay? Women are biologically hardwired to look for a man who can lead. Because think back to like when we were cavemen, women had to look for men for protection. So she wanted to look for a man who made her feel secure and who made her feel protected. Now, obviously in the modern day, right, I'm not saying we're cavemen anymore, but our evolutionary psychology actually hasn't changed that much. Women still, by and large, look for the same traits. They still want a man who makes them feel secure. They still want a man who can lead. So next time you go to plan a date with a girl, be the one to make the plans. Tell her, hey, I'm gonna pick you up. We're gonna go here. We're gonna do this. Because the truth is, women sometimes just wanna feel like they're along for the ride. Like they're just enjoying the experience, right? It's easy, it's effortless. You plan everything out so they can just have fun because that's what women want. They don't wanna lead all the time. They want a man who can do the leading. Reason number 5. You don't have a life. Bro, the reality is when all you do is just sit around and play video games and you don't do anything productive, well, yeah, of course you're gonna struggle with women. And there's a few reasons for this. Number 1, you just have way too much time on your hands. When you have all this free time, well, yeah, you're gonna be more likely to double text the girl or to over chase her or pursue her, because you just don't have anything going on, right? If you had stuff going on that you were doing that was entertaining, that was fun, you wouldn't feel the need to chase women all the time. And number 2, when you're not living a life that you're proud of, that makes you fulfilled, you're gonna have a severe lack of fulfillment in life. You're gonna carry yourself with such like a worse attitude and negative beliefs. Women wanna be with a man who has a good life, who has stuff going on, who's going out and doing other things, who's pursuing his goals, who's being productive, who's living an ambitious life, right? And because when you're a young man, you got to keep in mind, like, yes, I do think that women do find it somewhat important to be with a man who's going to have resources, who's going to make a good amount of money. I do think those things are important. But when you're young and you're in school or you're just kind of building yourself, you don't really have that yet. But what you do have is you do have that ambition. You can demonstrate those things, right? Show that you're a man who's striving to be his best self, who's on the right track. And that will make you so much more attractive to women because they can see that potential in you. And one of the biggest dating hacks that I can give you, you don't want to do things in your life just for women. Women want to feel like they are being invited into your life. So what does this look like? Well, you don't just go and take a girl out on a fun date because you want to do something with her and then just be bored the other 6 days of the week. No, you go out and you do fun shit. You go do fun things, right? On the weekend, you go out for a fun hike. You go hit a hard workout during the week. Then you go out and you go to some nice restaurants throughout the week, right? You're doing all these fun activities. And then when you get the opportunity, you simply just invite a girl along on your fun. Hey, I'm going on a hike this weekend. I'd love for you to come with. Are you free to go on a hike? Or hey, I wanted to go check out this new restaurant in town because it looks pretty nice and the food looks pretty good. Would you want to come along with me and go and check that out? Because when you're living a fun life and you're setting that example, women are going to see that and they're going to want to join in. One of the things that I used in my dating life that helped a lot when I was younger is I would always post on my story when I was going and doing fun things, right? When I was out at a baseball game or I was out at a nice restaurant or I was out doing something fun, then that sometimes a girl would see that, slide up and go, oh, hey, like, I want to go check out that place. Oh, I like that music too. Oh, I like that kind of food as well, right? And now you're giving yourself opportunities to start meeting up with girls, right? Because now girls are reaching out to you. Now you're not the one doing all the pursuing. They're actually the ones coming to you and joining your life. So you just have to live a fun life and do stuff that would make a woman want to be with you and come and join in on your life. Reason number 6, and this is what most guys struggle with, you just don't have enough experience. I want you to think of dating kind of like playing sports. Imagine if you took your future friend to the baseball field for the first time and he started swinging at pitches and he struck out and he went, oh yeah, I'm gonna quit baseball. This sucks. I hate this. You would say like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like you literally just started playing. It's your first time ever playing baseball. Like it's gonna take time for you to get better and to get to where you wanna be. Well, bro, dating is the same exact way. The first few times you go and approach a girl, it's probably not going to go well. You're probably going to like stumble over your words and you're going to be a little awkward and you're going to like laugh at yourself a bit after and get rejected. And that's just how it is, right? I don't say that to like be rude. I hope it goes well, but the statistics just say it probably won't because you're new at it. The first few dates you go on, yeah, you're going to be really nervous. But guess what, bro? That's normal. It's normal to be nervous when you're going on a date with a girl you like. And once you just kind of accept that and you just say like, yeah, I feel a little nervous, but that's okay. And you just relax into it a little bit, you'll perform a lot better. Or whenever you go and talk to girls, right? You don't want to view it as failure. Rejection isn't failure. You want to just view rejection as a part of the process, a necessary experience to get to where you want to be. Because that's what separates guys who are successful from guys who are not successful. The guys who always struggle with women and who never improve are the ones who say things like, oh yeah, I just got rejected. Women will never like me. Oh, the game's just rigged against me. I suck and there's nothing I can do about it, right? Whereas the guys who are successful, they view rejection as feedback, an ability to learn. Hey, I got rejected, but that's okay because now I'll be more confident for the next time I go and approach a girl because now I'm working on the skill. Or shoot, like that girl rejected me and it was because I was being a little too over-invested, a little too needy, right? Shoot, I gotta learn from that and I can't make that same mistake again. The reality is, it's not about how many times you fail. It's not about how many times you get knocked down, about how many times you don't succeed. What it is about is it's about how you bounce back up, how you learn from it, how you improve, and if you keep that positive mindset. And bro, I promise you, if you go about your dating life and you have a good attitude, you have good beliefs, that's half the battle. The rest will take care of itself. You'll start succeeding with women. You'll start having good dates. I can promise you that. But the first half of that battle is just getting that attitude part right. So really focus on that, having positive beliefs, and if you're making some of or maybe even all the mistakes that we talked about in this video, that's okay. The reason why I talk about these isn't to make you feel bad. It's not to make you say like, oh yeah, well, I guess I really do suck with women. No, it's because I want you to learn to improve. So keep a positive mindset. And if you do that, I promise you, you'll get on the right track. And 3 to 4 months from now, you'll look back and you'll say, damn, I'm really happy I put in the work. I kept a good attitude because now you have a girlfriend or you have a girl you're going on dates with, right? So that's what it's all about, keeping a positive attitude. If you do that, you will succeed. And if you're like younger me, you're struggling a bit with dating, but you want to take things to the next level, you want to improve, the top link in the description will be where you could book a free one-to-one call with me. And I'd love to talk with you a bit, see if you'd be a good fit for the coaching, and if so, I would love to work with you and get you help achieving the results that you want. And also make sure to leave a like and subscribe so more young men can see videos like these, because there's a lot of young men who I know need to have this message. There's a lot of guys who are struggling, right? And I want to be able to help them out, okay? So do them a favor, do me a favor, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video, bro.